But our favorite topic, Themba Bavuma, for everybody at home. So Quentin de Kock has taken a break from international cricket. So we've named our new captains. Dean Elgar is captain of the Test team, and Themba Bavuma has been named the first ever Black Protea captain for the limited overs and the T20s.
Beautiful stuff.
It's a great announcement, but there's been controversy. Like there's been people, and for me, I understand the controversy. I don't support it, but I understand, especially because he's there for the limited overs, and in limited overs, he's only played 14 games. Actually he's only played 8 T20s and 6 ODIs. Yeah. But he's now made captain of the team, and even his place was skeptical. Yeah. And now he's made captain, and a lot of people are saying, but he was the quota player, and now he's captain.
And you know what? There's, I think right now, just looking at everything. Yeah. Themba Bavuma, whether you made looking at your captain, that's another conversation we're gonna have when it comes to bowlers and being captain and stuff. But as the trend has been batsmen who become captain, and you'd think that in limited overs, Themba Bavuma has backing. I feel like he has backing for him to be selected. He's a current champion of both limited overs. Yeah, both MOTC and the T20 Challenge. So then it's all obviously sort of like propels him in a way. As much as people can say he's a quota player alongside other players, but he obviously, at some point, the CSA has to take that route. At some point, the Proteas have to get into that route of doing what the Springboks did, or what Razi Erasmus did with Siya. At some point, we are going to get to that, because growing calls, I mean, it's so disgusting looking at Facebook and Twitter comments about Black players. It's very disgusting. I never try or make anything racial. I move away from that, because at some points we are seen as people who instigate things. And if I say Themba Bavuma deserves the call up, then they would say it's justified, or it's not justified. You are saying things because you're also Black, whatever. Now it becomes a whole racial thing. It's very draining. However, I feel like with the backing of the 2 limited overs trophies, and sort of like a young, decent stint when he played against Pakistan, where he obviously hit the ball and then he took himself out. He was approaching a good innings. He was on 70, I think, at that time. And he sort of like made, and I think, because looking at captains, it's not just looking at a player who has been playing really well, which is obviously a plus. However, his organization, when do you put it? I mean, his management in the final of the T20 was fantastic. Yeah. You don't just bring in bowlers who will come in and be effective. His fielding was on the money. You're telling me that you want, who do people want to bring in? Who do people want to bring in?
No. I like that's what I said. I agree with you. I think cricket South Africa and this whole racial debate has been going on for a very long time. Yeah. Because I even remember like 2 or 3 seasons ago when Kaya Zondo got called up to the Proteas. Yeah. And he was there as a reserve batsman. Dumini got injured. Then they brought in Dean Elgar, and then they still never played Zondo, even though he'd been in the whole season, the whole series. Yeah. So we've always had this turbulent relationship, and even if you hear some of the interviews Makai and Tini's done in the past, like it's been a very turbulent time in terms of race and South African cricket. But like you have said, I think it's very different to have a leader, a captain, and a player that's performing. Because I think in South African cricket South Africa's mind, they hoped it was going to be Markram. Yeah. They hoped from under 19, Markram was going to be the guy to save us. Yeah. He was going to take over, but he hasn't performed. So even though he's a leader and a captain, but he doesn't perform. Bavuma and limited overs, he has an average of over 50. That's
absolutely.
He's only played 6, 8, but like he still has
good numbers. Yeah,
he has good numbers. He scored 100 on his debut. So he's actually in the limited overs game, deserves to be there purely based on merit, and he's led 2 domestic teams to the championship.
Exactly, and you know what makes me sort of like mad? It's when some of our Black people saying things like he's been set up to failure. To fail. If that's the conversation behind the CSA, then this will not affect Mavuma that much. He has a good domestic cricket career happening, and it's fantastic. So if you want to bring in Mavuma and bring him and make him and set him up for failure, CSA will always get the will always get the beating. And at this point, I think the calling for a black captain wasn't really as strong as it was back then. And right now, you bring in a player and say, okay, cool, we are sort of like reaching this sort of time now in our lifetime where black people also need to be included. So let's make Temba. I think it's been a while. I don't remember. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing any bowler being a captain, right?
No. I was Sean Pollard.
Oh yeah, Sean Pollard then.
But
it was an all-rounder. Because I'm thinking now, what is Lungingiti, Karaso Rabada? The pressure is too much. If you are a captain and you're bowling, chief, you must get wickets from the first ball.
Yeah, bro. And then also I'm like, bro, I would bowl myself out. Bro, I'm like, I'm bowling all 10 over. Because like the captain decides bowling order. Like, bro, I'm like, I'm bowling. You bowl. Give it to me. Like, so.
Imagine, you make decisions like that. You bowl the first over. You bowl the third one, and then you're done, and you're waiting for the new ball. People would say, "Hi, this guy, why is he doing this? Why is he not taking the old ball?" You know, obviously, but
I want 3 slips, bro. Like, I want 3. But I see what you mean.
But so the conversation.